Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, the podcast where we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come here to listen to us discuss. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jesse.
And in the milk, all you see is the future, because today we recommend Minority Report.
Woo! Nailed it, Jason. Crushed it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm doing it today.
You're doing it.
I'm with Jesse's help.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, man, it's been forever since I've seen this movie, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love all the science fiction-y cool shit.
Yeah, it's probably been since like high school, maybe college since I've seen this. So it's at least been 10 years. And forgot. So is this like the best movie with so much goofiness in it?
So it is a lot goofier than I remembered it being.
Well, it's like all the main characters are in the same movie. All the side characters are like, "What's up, guys?
We're here too.
We're making choices today." There's so many parts where this. So I looked at Natalie. I'm like, I didn't remember that. I don't remember it being that weird. Tim Blake Nelson's character, Gideon.
Yeah.
What movie is he in? Like a 1930s noir movie? I mean,
I mean, this is future noir.
Yeah, I know it's like a noir film, but I was like, what is he doing? Like his lines. It's like,
and I'd forgotten that Max von Sydow is in this. I love him.
He's great.
He's so good, and just like Colin Farrell, I thought did really great in this movie.
Oh yeah, he kind of steals it.
Yeah,
kind of stole the whole movie, and then Max von Sydow kind of did it, and then Tom Cruise comes in a close third.
Yeah, and this is one of the movies where even though I don't really enjoy Tom Cruise as a person, like I saw a making of the film when I had the DVD, and it really showed how hard Tom Cruise works as an actor.
He really does.
Because he does a lot of his own stunts. Like when he's falling off the car, he did that stunt like 30 something times before they got it right. Just falling off the car a little bit and hanging on.
He's staring in the mirror and be like, "Zeno, not today."
Zeno, help me.
Protect me. Well, he jumped out of the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. He jumped out of like a helicopter and landed wherever they're doing it in LA.
What?
Apparently, yeah. I still haven't seen it, but and then of course the Mission Impossible, every time they come out with on those movies, they're like, "Hey, look at how Tom Cruise wanted to die and he didn't. He's trying, but he won't. He's unkillable."
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's like Archer. He's just like, I don't think I can die.
I mean, honestly, with how crazy he is, it's like, wait, is Scientology the right way?
It gives you powers.
I'm going to have like some Scientologists knock on my door once this releases, be like, "Hey, I heard you wanted to join."
Oh, yeah, they're already here. Come on in, guys.
Yeah, come on.
I brought him with me.
My dog Snake, he's part of it.
Well, hell yeah, man. So I was reading a little bit about this movie, and apparently, the book was written as, well, the movie was going to be like a sequel to Total Recall, which I thought was neat.
And I'm like, how? They're on Mars. It's Total Recall.
I know, it's just future crime, but in Mars, I guess,
I feel like
with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It would be kind of a weird mix because, this is so much more futuristic than what Total Recall looks like. Because, it's kind of like the alien stuff where it's like, hey, 80s future.
3 boobs.
Yeah, there's this boobs and like everything's very analog still versus this future. Hey, do you not want to really be able to focus on what you're looking at because it's all see-through? Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why
do they project TV on the wall? Like you can put up something.
And it looks terrible. I'm like, cool, you have a hologram projector.
Nobody gives a fuck about movie quality or like picture quality.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's lines all in my movie. My favorite way. And it reminds me of, because in the last season of Parks and Rec, they like jumped to 2017. And like all their phones are like see-through and kind of, I'm like, what? Why do we think this is where we're going? This is terrible. Like, I don't want to be able to see through what I'm trying to read. It seems impossible.
Yeah, I love it when movies do this thing where they make up all these ideas about what the future is going to be like, and none of it's practical.
Yeah, never.
Not really. I mean, some of it's pretty fucking cool, like cars can drive up buildings. And all the transportation in this movie is cool as hell. Like the ships, the cars, and the...
Oh, bro, when they build the car around him and he's like,
yeah,
toodaloo.
It becomes a transformer.
Danny like hits his fist to his hand. I'm like, what is that? Like just so wild.
Yeah, he's got to kiss his punching charm.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we get it. You're Catholic or whatever.
He's also I guess he's I feel like he was written into this movie a little bit after they cast him because he's just like he's like an Irish immigrant almost, like
Yeah,
cop.
and it was which I guess this still works, but apparently they wanted Matt Damon originally in his part, and he was actually signed on until they're like, "Oh, we can't do it, sorry." And then like they had a bunch of different people, that was gonna be like different characters. I'm not stepping on your facts, am I?
No, I've got barely any facts really. I mean, movie was nominated for some cool shit like best sound design.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of Saturn awards, whatever the fuck
Oh
those
yeah,
are.
Saturn. That's like sci-fi awards essentially.
That's cool. Never heard of those till now.
So yeah, Matt Damon was gonna be Danny. Meryl Streep was gonna be Hyndman, the girl. Cool. Ian McKellen was gonna be Burgess, and Kate Blanchett was gonna be Agatha. So yeah, that was the. And so this was also written by Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick. It was a short story back.
Yeah.
Did he also write Total Recall?
Yes.
Is that why they were going to do this? Sequel?
And Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
He's, all the like Android sci-fi stuff pretty much came from him.
I love Dick.
Yeah. Just this in.
I love
Jason loves Dick.
I love sci-fi Dick.
Yeah. Ooh, there something I found out, just to put it with a movie that we did before, Speed. John DeBont was originally supposed to set to direct this movie because there were so many delays between Tom Cruise doing Mission Impossible and then Stanley Kubrick died and Steven Spielberg was like, to honor him, I must make a mediocre movie AI. Just kidding. I kind of like that movie, but it's too long. Yeah,
it's so sad.
It's fine.
So fucking sad.
It like doesn't work for me.
When your kids die, it sucks. Apparently.
Yeah. Apparently not good for your back.
Oh man.
Don't kill your kids. Don't have them kidnapped.
Oh man, it's not his fault. That was so scary when as a father.
As a father. Whenever he's like, he just goes to hold his breath for 20 minutes like a whale, apparently.
But he was down there for like 10 seconds.
I know. It's like no one noticed this, like some guy.
It makes you want to put your kids in like handcuffs and cuff them to you like a briefcase.
Some people do that.
I guess you can.
With a little leash and stuff.
Yeah, a leash with a harness.
Exactly.
Don't want to get too far.
Apparently, Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg were supposed to work together way before this, like in the 80s, because Spielberg almost directed Rain Man.
Oh.
Which has...
That would have been an interesting...
Yeah, but he went on to do Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Thank goodness.
Yeah, much better.
Maybe rocks.
More fun movies. I mean, Rain Man was good.
Yeah.
But it's not as fun as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's not an adventure.
Yeah. Those Indiana Jones movies, all three, first three, nailed it. Next two, just stop.
I love going watching the Temple of Doom now. Because like in the scenes where they're on the carts getting away. Yeah. Like the scene where they're in the mine carts getting away, it's so obvious that they're dolls. Like it's so bad, but it's so good.
Oh, it's like I miss that.
I'm totally down for this. And this movie makes me afraid to be a stoner in the future.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you go, the walls are calling out your name and shouting at you to buy things. And I would be so scared all the time. I'd be so paranoid. Like, do the walls know I'm high? Yes, they do.
The walls know. Hold on a sec.
Like, Jason, would you like some Cheetos? Yeah, man.
Yeah, why not?
So what's your favorite like science fiction-y thing that's in this movie?
In this movie? Man. I don't know. It all kind of sucked. I mean, like, not like it was bad. It was just, it was all scary.
I like the plants. I think that was my favorite part.
That was weird. I was like, whenever it hit that, when it became that part, I was like, wait, what movie is this?
Like, where are we now?
It's like, is this Harry Potter all of a sudden?
Sweet.
Oh my God.
And it's only 30 years away.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess for me, the best was probably, I mean, the jetpacks were great.
But the people in them were bad.
They all sucked at using them.
They were bad at them.
I mean, I guess the auto cars, just the auto drive cars.
Yeah, that was cool.
That would be really nice in the mornings.
Yeah, but right.
Just sleeping on the way to work.
But then, like, if you get pulled over, it's just against your will.
I just be like, hey, oh yeah, that part
somewhere.
That's the thing, because it's Philip K. Dick. Like everything kind of is. The future should be great, but it all is kind of crazy. I mean, it's all 1984 stuff.
Oh,
with the ice, and everything's kind of against your will, no matter what. I love that book. Yeah, I've actually never read it.
It's
I have it downloaded on my Audible.
Weird, but it's a fun little read. was supposed to read it in middle school or something, but I read it as an adult.
Yeah. So I guess Spielberg didn't originally want to do the movie. He said, the script sucks. I don't want to do it. And I guess they rewrote it and it like finally got it up to snuff. But I'm just like, some of the stuff, I'm like, you sure you didn't want another pass? With some of these characters? Womp womp. Like old Peter Stormare. It's like, what in the world? And I guess Tom Cruise and Spielberg just took 15% of the box office gross.
Which was like $380 million.
Yeah, and I think they got 52 million a piece from the movie.
Nice.
Because they were like, oh, no, we won't take any money if you give us a bigger budget. And they're like, okay. And so so they could make the movie, they were like, we'll take no money up front and we'll just take whatever it makes afterwards. And I guess the studio was like, yeah, we don't know about this because AI was such it was not a hit.
Right.
And so they were like, Spielberg kind of in a slump here because it was Lost World and AI, I believe. So two movies that did not get critically well received.
Lost World, I saw it so many times in theaters, but it really wasn't that great.
It has a great opening, I feel like.
Yeah.
And a great ending. Everything in the middle doesn't work.
Right.
And it sucks because Goldblum's great in it.
Yeah, Goldblum's awesome. I love that part when they're like going through the high grass and just getting taken off one.
Oh yeah, that
one.
aspect, that rules. There's so much good stuff in it, but then it's like a gymnast teenager kicks a raptor.
Hell yeah, man.
We're just making these guys a joke, are we? Which that reminds me of the scene with the jetpacks and flying into that girl's that family's apartment and their jetpacks cook burgers.
Yeah, it was so goofy.
It was like
I was laughing my ass off.
Like, we just had such a serious movie before this, and now we're doing this all of a sudden. What? Except the Tim Blake Nelson part.
Oh man!
Well.
All right. Well,
that's pretty much all the notes I really got.
Sweet. I guess
and there is actually one more. So, I guess the director Cameron Crowe and Paul Thomas Anderson and the actress Cameron Diaz are all in the subway scene.
What?
Yeah, did not know that. And Spielberg tried to make the technology in this movie as believable as possible for a 2054 movie, and they had like an expert make like a 2054 Bible and had like 80 pages worth of ideas for the future and like what would be the most realistic thing for the future.
Hey, I got one cereal boxes that talk.
Yes.
I won't scare the fuck out of you.
Newspapers that can just change. Wait, you mean like a phone?
That was kind of neat, even though it's still like paper.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very Harry Potter.
Yes, very. It really is. It's like future Harry Potter. Yeah. That's awesome. What did you think about how, because when we talked about World of Worlds, we had that milky grayness, like look to it. And that was obviously after this movie because World of Worlds was after Minority Report. Man, in this movie, they're like, what if you can't see anything?
Yeah. It's kind of a milky blue and there's lots of milk.
Yeah. It's such a milk movie.
It's a milk heavy movie. And when I heard, I was listening to like Caldwell Tanner talking about milk in this movie. I was like, there's no way there's milk in this movie.
Yeah.
People are just swimming in it.
People just live in milk.
Bathing in milk.
They love milk. Whether it's expired, they'll still drink it.
Future milk, bad milk, all the milks.
It seemed relaxing to be in there though. I was like, man, these guys have it made. They just see murder. I mean, like,
that sucks.
Me and my life.
Sing murder all the time.
I just listened to podcasts about murder and
scared bad and
just
sad.
Wish I was just laying in milk.
I wish I could murder.
Instead, I could be seeing it and be like, I solved the crime. I am the ultimate podcaster now.
You gotta get in your milk bath. Maybe they all the precogs had really bad poison ivy and they had oat milk.
Those precogs would be hell of a true crime podcasters though. It's like, we've seen it all.
Yeah, they're like, you're never going to believe this.
You're not going to guess how we figured this out. We were there. We lived it through our visions.
We see it every waking moment of our terrible existence.
Yeah.
All right, so we can get into the movie. So I guess the basis, so Pre-Crime was made 6 years prior to 2054 to eliminate murder in Washington, D.C., where they're just kind of trying it out.
Mayday.
And what makes it possible are the precogs, which are people born from the heroin addicts'
Yeah,
parents.
it's like new heroin. That's where they came up with the name.
But they were saying it's only because their parents were taking the bad heroin before it was like good.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're
it's
just all like heroin addicted babies and
they're-
had brain problems.
And like The
because of it.
Witcher, they're the only ones that survived.
Yeah. And they all like everyone died at 12, and then what's her name made them to where they can live, and they just have dreams
Yeah, it's
about
the
murder.
Trial of the Grasses.
Yeah.
But for future.
That girl knows all about grass.
But the movie opens up with a murder.
Yes, we're seeing the pre-crime. Wait, I forgot. I wrote down a joke. I didn't bring it in here. All right, let me try to remember it. Oh God, totally nailing it. Dang. All right. The only thing worse than pre-crime is pre-cum. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, it's so sticky.
Got it.
And then you pull you like dislocate your shorts from the tip, and it's just like, oh, it hurts a little bit. And then you pee, so your pee gets split into 2 different streams, like Ghostbusters. Anyway,
every female just turned off the podcast. Like, fuck this.
For more facts, keep listening.
For more P facts, go back to We Recommend.
Oh, God. All right, yeah. So we see we're watching a murder, a pre-murder.
Yeah.
We're watching the precogs.
They're all like dreaming.
They're having a nightmare that they have all the time. And then you see the little balls being made.
Hell yeah. Love the balls.
Very ball-based
Very
crime
satisfying
economy.
to look at. I don't know why.
I know. Because like just like a smooth little ball and like watching it get carved real fast. That was fun.
Great. Coming down the little tube.
And this is like the really non-functional thing about future stuff that I was trying to think of. Like, you could just send an email up to the office.
Dude, like, because what we're about to see is when you have John, Tom Cruise's character, he walks in the room. He's got the most badass walk in this movie. He just walks with so much intent. And there's a part where it's like, bring up all the suspects with this name. And it's on the guy behind him screen. And they put him in this little glass thing and then send it over to him. I'm like, can't email him?
Yeah.
All this technology, you can't just like swipe it over there?
Yeah. Well, I guess to be fair, this was what, 2002? They started making it in 97, but they didn't know.
They didn't know.
They were still on America Online, I think.
I was like, man, that's the best they could think of in 2054.
Let's make this really complicated. But you see a guy stabbing and stabbing and stabbing his wife.
Yeah. You know I can't see without my glasses.
You know how blind I am without them.
Help. I can't find my glasses.
And then you start to see Tom Cruise. He gets out John Anderton, brings out his Tai Chi to go through, to scrub the video, to like kind of reverse engineer like where this guy is and like how they can find him, because they got to stop him in like 30 minutes or something.
What do you think about his hand movements? You think it's
that's what made me think of Tai Chi. He's just like whoop, whoop,
think
whoop,
it's
whoop.
goofy or cool?
It's a little goofy, but it was cool.
It's because Tom Cruise is so into it. That's why
he's
it works.
very into it, but he's a professional. You know, he's got it down.
Who did it better, Tom Cruise or Robert Downey Jr.? Because he's always doing that in his little movie in Iron Man.
Yeah. Well, I think Tom Cruise did it first.
Yeah, he kind of crushed it. I love that a little later you have Danny, Colin Farrell's character, and he starts doing it, but he's like, he's a little clunky with it, and I'm like, man, that's a good detail.
Yeah, it was fun. He has those cool little gloves on that only cover the first 2 fingers and the thumb, and he uses those to like pinch and
twist.
Like use an iPhone.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out where this guy is, and I think they pull up the licenses and they find the guy, and they like, oh, he starts to head out, but then they're like, no, that place ain't there no more.
That's an old place. He doesn't renew his license. Even if he doesn't kill, we can still arrest him.
Then you got the man in his house, like talking to his wife while she's getting the kids ready for school.
Yeah, and super obvious that he knows that she's like, why is that guy just standing out in front of the house?
He's just staring at the house,
like, hey,
with a trench coat.
How about this? Be across the way a little bit further instead of standing next to a tree staring at the house while the guy is staring back at you.
Yeah.
What?
Not a place you want to be, like, especially in a playground around kids, like stranger danger a little bit.
It's like, man, how about you just like pretend you're walking around the neighborhood or something? Like, don't just obviously be standing there to go sleep with someone's wife.
You know, like wearing a trench coat in a playground means you went there to jerk off, I think.
Yeah, you're either gonna flash somebody or shoot somebody.
Yeah,
There's only
it's
two
all
options because it wasn't raining out.
But I love the tension that is built up in this scene. Where
Oh,
they're
yeah,
trying to find him.
This is my favorite part of the movie, the beginning.
The beginning part.
I mean, it goes
It
so
is fucking
hard.
cool,
It
yeah.
perfectly explains the movie and everything.
You're like, is he gonna stop him?
It's like a perfect setup. And then because you see it work this time, you're like, well, this is definitely gonna happen to Tom Cruise now.
Hell yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, yeah. So the guy Howard, I think his name is, or
Yeah,
something.
Howard something, yeah.
He knows something's up. He's like, "Why don't I stay home?" Well, I say, "No, man, gotta get out of here. I
Yeah.
gotta fuck."
And he's like, she's all, I got an open house. He's like, oh, I guess that's why you look nice. Lady, he's gonna know. Just call it off or wait like a couple hours. Be like, hey, just stay out there for an hour or two.
Oh man, but then he'd be all sad.
Like, I only like to have sex in the morning.
That's gotta get it over with, I guess.
And
Yeah.
something I love is like Danny walks in like kind of during this scene.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, this movie, they keep calling him a twink.
A twink?
Yeah, they call him a twink, like, the gay term. twink.
Right, yeah.
They call him it like 4 or 5 times in the movie.
I didn't notice that.
I'm like, I didn't realize it's a twink heavy movie.
Maybe it means something else in the future. We don't know.
It's the only word. It's the only thing that means the same.
But I thought it was cool how they kind of explain everything by explaining it to him, which is really
Yeah.
easy, like
Explains the whole process.
explanation, and it works really well. You
Yeah.
know, he's there to oversee the operations, because pre-crime's about to go public.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they kind of figure out where they think he might live, because he sees the little kid on the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
He's like whoop 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 back and forth,
Yeah.
and he shows up. He's like, oh fuck, where is it?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, it's a playground.
Is the door open? He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, they go and they're like, we know where it's at. And they go there. And they're like, is the door open? It's like, yes, it's probably the one with the door open, man.
Then Tom Cruise and John runs in. He saves the day. Arrests, and then like once he gets him, he's like, okay, everybody else, time to break their shit.
Yeah.
To break all their windows.
Exactly. Yeah, these pre-cops are pretty bad. That is something I like about the movie is that a little later we learn that none of them have ever been a detective before, and they're essentially just muscle at this point. They just go in and beat people up and take them and halo them.
Because John Anderton was a detective in Boston.
Yeah, and
Before.
Danny was also a cop apparently.
Danny was too.
Yeah.
He's okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he saves the day, and then I think they go back to the office or whatever. And this is where Colin Farrell, what's his name, Danny, he is.
Yeah, he's
pretty much telling him that it's his show now. Like he's been given like full run of the whole operation.
Yeah, and like we also kind of learned that the precogs have echoes because Danny sees them kind of like
having seizures in the milk.
Yeah, and so yeah, essentially they essentially keep the memories of it, and they can kind of come back and bring the memories back essentially, and it just keeps echoing in their head.
Like the brain cloud.
Yeah, it'll just be kind of important a little later with the Anne Lively stuff. And then we kind of learn that Danny just wants to be John, essentially.
Really?
He just wants to take his place.
Okay.
That's the vibe I got.
I just thought he seemed pretty straightforward to me at first. Like he just wants to figure out what's going on because he's like, there is a flaw here. I'm going to find it. It's a human flaw. They're all humans. I guess,
exactly.
It's not really based on any kind of technology. It's just like these 3 dudes that can see the future.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of cool how they can just erase their bad memories.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Danny wants to go in and see the precogs, but Tom Cruise is like, "Nah, man," but he goes in it anyway.
Yeah, it's like, well, I have a warrant, so I can go in there, and he's like, "Let me see the goddamn warrant."
Let me see it.
And they go in.
They go in. Wally's down there. Wallace.
Wally.
Why does he's super weird.
Yeah,
all these characters are super weird, and they want the precogs to be naked all the time.
Yeah, they have like this like tiny, almost see-through little like, suit
very
on.
see-through, but mesh suit.
And he like talks like so creepily to Agatha.
Oh,
It's
man.
like, yikes.
Yeah, because they just keep him drugged all the time.
Yeah.
And he just, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. We also meet like the director, Lamar Burgess,
Oh, yeah.
for a second. He's like the guy that was one of the two people that was like the
Yeah,
whole
he and
thing.
Dr. Heineman.
Heineman? Yeah.
Heineman?
Heineman.
Dr. Hyman?
Yeah. And this is when Danny's in the temple. He's kind of, when Danny's like before they get in the temple, they're talking about like, he's pushing back on the pre-crime and he's asking about false positives and stuff.
Yes.
And then they have like the great scene. The whole reason that there's balls in this movie, I feel like, is so Tom Cruise can roll the ball and be like, because Danny's saying, hey, just because like it might not happen.
Or
like
they haven't done anything yet.
And then he rolls the ball and it's about to fall and it's like, well, why'd you catch that? It's like, because it was going to fall. It's like, yeah, you caught it, but it didn't happen, but you knew it was going to happen. So just to come back to Lost, whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. And then they start talking about how people are deifying the precogs.
Yes.
And how, and it's all the people that work there are like, yeah, kind of. We're like clergy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
except for John.
Yeah.
He's kind of got his head on his
He's
shoulders.
pissed off about it. He's like, you're not a religion. Like, dude, the statues out front of your place makes it seem like a religion.
Yeah, it's very, they call it the temple. And, he got in it to try to save his son or just to keep it from happening to another kid because his son got kidnapped.
Yeah.
Just super fucking sad.
Super sad.
Because so after this, he goes, you see him running through the city, like he's exercising, but it's stopped by the guy in the weird guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy with no eyes,
Mr. Peepers.
He's getting himself some narrowing,
some clarity.
Yeah.
And he has that line where he says, "In the land of the blind, the man with no eye is king."
Yeah.
Or with one eye is king, and he pulls up his glasses. He got like sandworm eyes for.
Yeah, it's real gross though. Yeah. Like it kind of nailed it.
If that's what Neuroin does to you, gross.
Oh wait, did we miss the part where Agatha wakes up and tells John?
Right, yeah, because he's she grabs him and she shows him the memory of Anne Lively being murdered.
Yeah, and he's like, "What the hell?
What the fuck?" And then Wallace is all pissed. Touch my girl.
Why'd you touch her? It's like she touched me.
She touched me.
Yeah,
I can't help it. She wants me more than you.
Yeah.
So John Anderton gets his drugs and he goes home to be sad.
Yeah,
a lot.
This is a great scene though. It's nice and sad.
He is a total addict. He's got drugs all over the house.
Yeah, it's like clean up your house, dude. Come on.
He's sad, man.
Yeah,
I can't imagine what it'd be like. He gets mad at his cereal box, throws it across the room. I'd be pissed too, man. Just
fuck the cereal.
Smoke a bowl and your cereal box just talking to you. And it's just the Rice Krispie elf guys.
Yeah, it's like, leave me alone, cereal. I don't like this.
Maybe they're just mad he doesn't have any milk. You see, he's looking at like old recordings of his son that are like 3D rendered into open space, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I actually did really like that part. It's like if you could make it like memories kind of holograms like that, that'd be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to do with the precogs. He sees his son, he's like talking to his son, and he says, "You got to keep running.
Yeah,
got to keep running.
Got to keep running because they always run.
They always run."
Yeah.
And John loves running from his gay thoughts. And then he takes a hit of his pipe thing.
Hell yeah.
Talks to his wife, who is still alive.
Yeah.
But not with him.
They're divorced.
She left him.
Because every time he saw him, she saw him, reminded him of her son.
Yeah. That's got to be tough.
Yeah. That's like such a classic movie thing too. It's like son dies, the parents always have to break up, and it's always because they just remind each other of their child.
So what happens next? So it's the next day. This is where he gets his echo of, the new crime comes in and it's him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened? When does he visit Gideon?
The guy who keeps all the prisoners.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh wait, okay. So yeah, this is where.
Oh, it's after he sees the Anne Lively thing.
Oh,
right?
all the drug stuff happened right before the Danny pushes back on pre-crime and stuff. So this is where Agatha wakes up and tells John to see, and we see images of a woman being drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because of that, John ends up visiting Gideon, who watches over people that have been haloed, essentially.
He's also super creepy.
Yeah.
He's playing the organ for him all the time because it relaxes him.
Yeah, and it's
you don't know, man.
Do they even see? Like here? I'm not sure.
If maybe he's got like their vitals, like, and he sees them all, like he watches them go up and down while he's playing the organ, like the fucking Phantom of the Opera or something.
Boom, 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 boom.
And it looks like another functional, non-functional thing. Like when they bring John Anderton comes in, he starts asking him about these visions. He asks her to look up this Anne Lively woman.
Yeah, the murderer of Anne Lively. He's like, hey, I want to see her memories, or
they find him.
The whole like log of the memories and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and so instead of just pulling up on the screen, he pulls out the person.
Yes. We'll have to take a stroll.
And like then he just displays all of the information on the dude's dick.
Yeah,
so you're just
essentially. Yeah, you're just staring at a guy's crotch the whole time.
And you can see through everything. So I mean, they are wearing like a something, like some kind of underwear thing.
It's almost like a jockstrap type thing.
And I guess he kind of explains that while they're in prison, their minds are very busy.
Yeah.
But
they can their whole life flashes before their eyes, and they can dream of whatever, I guess.
But I guess it's nice, or is it not? Are they supposed to be
I don't know. It seems like
doing hard labor.
It seems like it's better than prison.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I mean, I imagine unless they can like simulate like the Matrix, just make you feel, I
mean, if you can just dream whatever you want.
They just make you go have a daily, like a full-time job.
Because I feel like, so since you're arresting them before crime, it would make sense that their punishment wouldn't be too bad because they technically didn't commit a murder. So I guess if you're being arrested and then you can just kind of visually dream up whatever you want, it's like, okay, well, at least you're not, like in prison getting shanked or something.
Yeah. And probed.
Yeah.
Although you might be getting probed by Gideon.
Yeah.
You never know.
And during this scene, like whenever they're looking at him, this is when this is like the missing scenes kind of pop up. They're like, what?
Yeah.
We don't have Agatha's like dream section of it or whatever.
Her feed.
Yeah. And like this is what will eventually learn to be a Minority Report.
And he finds out that Anne Lively is missing.
Yes. Yeah, because they cannot find her.
Even though they saved her with pre-crime.
Yes.
Supposedly. And they have this guy in prison.
Yeah, and she's just gone forever.
She's gone.
And we learn the murderer had his eyes replaced, which is something you can do for
$1,000
cool. Now.
Hell
apparently.
Yeah. I hated that whole scene. It was so gross.
So cool. Loved it.
It was so gross.
It's like my second favorite scene.
No.
Take out the mice. And then then John ends up like taking all the data.
Yeah, he copies it to take it home.
Gideon's like, can't do that, champ. It's like, he's like, I can do it. I bet there's nothing else illegal going on in
but
here.
you're not fondling the prisoners.
I was like, is that what he meant?
I think so. I think he's doing stuff to him.
And then we get the great line from Gideon. Careful, Chief. If you dig up the past, all you get is dirty.
I like him. Yeah. He's a good actor. He's always so weird.
Insane choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but everyone in this movie is insane.
And Tim Blake Nelson has one of the best lines in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
He turned him into a horny toad. So, me and Natalie immediately did that when we saw him together.
He is the horny toad,
my
friends. All right, so what's...
Then this is where John tells Burgess about the missing data, I think.
Oh, yeah, he goes to visit Lamar.
Yeah.
He's asking about it. And Lamar's kind of like pretending like he doesn't know shit.
And he immediately
helped create it.
Immediately changes the subject too. Every time you cut to him when someone asks a question, he immediately changes the subject, and he's so good at it.
Because he's a politician, I guess, at heart. Because that's the role he's playing now, is trying to get pre-crime nationwide.
Yeah.
And so he's just kind of like the face behind it.
Yeah, and he's worried that if it goes nationwide, he's going to be like kicked out and it's going to be taken from him.
Yeah.
And he knows that John is using some heroin, which comes pretty.
Do you think it's
pretty important later?
How do you think that came about? Do you think it's just obvious that he's been using it? Because they don't really go into like side effects of using heroin, except that you have bad like future babies.
Yeah, I think it's for. He probably told him, or it's probably obvious to him.
It's
maybe
like father son kind of.
Yeah, it seems like John trusts him, even though he shouldn't.
Yeah. But he's they're so nice to each other.
And he says like his pain is hurting both of us.
And something I thought was interesting too, like Lamar is very sick.
Yeah.
In this movie. And there's a lot of people
Everybody's
that are
always sick. And I don't know why.
And he like kisses his wife on the cheek. Like, no, man, everybody's sick. Don't be kissing nobody.
It's like, because it seems like every time they cut to a side character, it's like, are they sick?
It's like
why is everybody getting
surgeon
sick?
is just like snot coming out of his nose.
Like, don't worry.
God, it's so
much antibiotics in you. You don't have to worry about it.
And like the woman doesn't wash her hand. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
And then we see Danny breaking into John's house, I believe.
Oh yeah, going through all this shit. That's got to be legal in the future.
That should be illegal, but it seems like it doesn't matter. I guess if
he's got a warrant for everything,
I'm assuming he can just do whatever. It's future crime. Everything's
future warrants.
Future warrants.
Everything's on the table.
Super easy to get. I'm assuming he has this free reign to do whatever he wants to make sure.
Yeah,
just stop it.
And I guess like because he's basically Lamar's lackey. Like he's been sent there by Lamar. Right?
No, he's been sent there by
the government.
The government, yeah.
But he keeps going to Lamar. Like Lamar's like his buddy.
Who, Danny?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a little later because he was like, hey, because he didn't think like Lamar would be a part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's always Max von Sydow, though.
Okay. Then that's the next day where he is back at work. And new balls are made.
Yes.
We see crime being seen.
Leo Crow.
They're like, get on it.
Bum,
and
bum,
I love how when John goes up to, it's like he's a conductor. He's like conducting a symphony with all the pictures, and he starts doing it, and like the guy in the office with him is like, it's my favorite part.
Yeah. It's like, I love this stuff. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's just way over the top and fun.
Well, they don't have anything to do. Like everything's just solved for them immediately. Yeah, it's like, this is the best part of my day.
They have to wait for crimes, for murders.
We get to see John do hand movements.
Yeah, he starts scrubbing through the images, and to what there are wondering eyes see, but it is John Anderton. It's going to be the murderer of Leo Crow.
It's so great when he realizes it's him. He's like, everybody leave.
He just like swipes it out of the way.
Go get some cake.
He takes the ball. Yeah, give me some cake.
It's such another weird scene. Yes, Chief. I'll get some cake for me too. It's cake. Like, okay.
We don't get a lot of cake around here.
Weird.
It's exciting.
Yeah. It's like all right.
Like in the Fallout series where like they're always eating like Jello cake. They're all so excited about it. Anyway. So he's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna kill somebody soon. This is crazy.
There's no way, and he thinks it's a conspiracy.
Oh yeah, because he thinks Danny set him up.
Yeah.
Sees it, and he's like walking out of the police station.
And I like right before that, because Wally's seeing all this, the guy in the bottom, but because everybody likes the Chief John and like respects him so much, he's like, I'll give you like 2 to 10 minutes.
He's like, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes
before I hit the alarm.
I was like, man,
that's a good. That's a buddy.
What a cool guy, weirdo. What he really wanted is like, I just need everybody to leave so I can touch these precogs.
Yeah,
that's all he wanted to do.
Gotta get my precog on. Gross.
Yes.
He's just, I gotta contribute to the milk.
Yeah.
Because like when you see Agatha go into the milk, there's all kinds of like stuff floating around.
Yeah.
Like pulp, like orange juice pulp.
Like just some curdled milk.
Ew, man.
Yucky.
Yucky. Yeah, John he's like, oh shit, gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
He gets into the elevator.
Hell yeah.
Doors closing.
This is one of my favorite scenes.
And Danny walks in. He's like, shit.
Yeah, Danny goes in there. I caught you using. Now I got your badge. And then and of course, Tom Cruise is like, you set me up. And he's like, dude, wait. He puts a gun to his thing. And of course, Danny's like, I don't hear any red balls. And then the alarm goes off. And his like immediate change of like,
oh, fuck.
Wait a second. It could be me.
It might be me.
But like, Colin Farrell's so good in this scene.
Oh,
He immediately went from like cocky dude to I'm gonna die. Maybe.
He took it like a champ.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, John points his gun at him and walks out of the elevator.
Yep.
Yeah. He heads outside where you see like all the distracting advertisements that are constantly everywhere, and everything scans your eyes and you have nowhere to hide.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I hate this so much.
Like he gets like into a car or whatever and like talks to Burgess, who's like, I can protect you. I'll protect you. Like,
yeah, and then like the car's getting pulled over while he's talking. That was really cool. How it just kind of takes the car.
It's like, this is my car now.
Yeah, the police are just like, nope, where are you going? Nowhere.
And this is where we get the first line of everybody runs.
Don't run, John. Everybody runs and kicks out car windows and jumps on them. It's really awesome because like the car starts going up the building.
Yeah,
and he turns into a Luigi and starts jumping from car to car.
This is where the film begins to look like the Star Wars prequels.
They're really good CGI stuff.
Yeah. The thing is, when they implement the CGI like in the real sets, like when there's actual real things around, it looks pretty decent. But man, as soon as they go into like the city and everything is CGI, and it's like, no.
It didn't age very well. I mean, those parts don't, I don't think. But it's still fucking cool. You got cars going everywhere.
And then he jumps off the car and he lands in a yoga studio.
And that woman,
seems like
he lands kind of like what she's already doing. So it's like he's part of the class.
And it's such a classic Spielberg thing, like someone falling into a room and it's like a weird thing's happening. Like I feel like that happens in Indiana Jones and like all his chase, any movie where he's got to chase. There's always like a scene of like, what the hell?
That's what like, God, there's so many goofy things in this movie. Like, this part and like when he's chasing his eyeballs down the walkway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So he gets to the yoga studio.
Yeah.
And he is.
And then like we just have like a small scene of Danny telling Burgess that he's in charge, and Burgess says, "Nah, dog."
No, he tells him it's really up to the pre-crime division.
Yeah.
It's their show.
Yeah. And then like Danny's like, "Nah, I'm daddy here, dude."
That's what made me think that they were kind of working together. Because he went to him like.
Yeah, he's just trying to tell him it's like, this is my department now, and he's like, "No, he's in charge because they're the cops right now. You stay here." And they don't want John. He doesn't want John hurt for some reason.
Yeah, kind of has to drag that out of him. It's
yeah.
Like, and then he realizes what's going on. He's like, oh, they're protecting him.
Yeah. And this is where John goes into the mall and you see all the ads.
Yeah, he's got he's like, hey, welcome back.
And that type of stuff is like the stuff that I think works really great in the movie, the eye scanning stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, there's so much tension being built up from it. And it's like, there's no escape. This is terrible. We don't want this. And it's like, slowly our phones are turning into this.
Yeah, because they scan you every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and they can, I guess everybody's in a database and they scan your eyes to do anything and everything. Like get on the subway, go, do, and he gets in the subway and like his face pops up in the newspaper.
Yeah, that was great.
You can't run from anybody.
Because like he gets out of the subway and he's immediately noticed. The cops are immediately there.
Cameron Diaz is there too, apparently. That guy sees him. And he's like, oh, shit, that's him right there. Yeah. Has that ever happened to you? You ever seen someone that's been like on the run?
No, I've never done that.
Poster? No, I mean neither.
I don't pay close enough attention to criminals.
People's faces?
Usually I just try not. Well, no, I am like a very much of a people watcher type of guy.
That's always fun.
Constantly watching people.
Yeah, and talking shit. It's like my favorite pastime.
Like when me and Natalie are out eating, I'm always just like listening to her, but also got my eyes on like, there's something weird going on over there.
Like you're in prison.
People are kind of creepy over there. Not creepy, but I'm just like, oh.
Everyone's a criminal.
I'm always like, I think those people are having a fight, actually.
Let's get closer. It's
like,
you just kind of lean in.
And then it's like, I'm obviously just like super entranced by what's going on at another table.
Yeah, and you just like, you maybe send them a drink, tell them, like, and just to rile things up a little bit.
It's like, hey, it's all going to be okay.
So like, oh man, that would suck. Like you and your wife just ruin people's marriages. Just like, hey, send him a drink and tell him it's from you. And so his wife will get real mad.
Get real pissed, yeah.
I did that to somebody with a glass of water.
What?
And he almost threw it in my face.
Oh my gosh.
I did it as a joke, but it wasn't funny.
It's like, I hate when people give me waters.
Hey, what were we talking about?
So yeah, this is where the big chase scene happens. They're all like calling him chief when they corner him and stuff. And they're like, don't do it, chief.
Yeah. The jetpack cops.
Yeah, they all like him still. And then this is pretty much just where we have the giant chase scene. You got the silly jetpacks that don't really work. The 6-6.
Those are fun.
That might actually be my favorite one. That might be my favorite invention. Yeah. So I was like, what does that mean? 6-6. I'm like, oh, that fucking
so gross.
That goes, dude.
And the air gun things are fun too.
The pulse rifles almost type
like,
thing.
They're sweet. Like, did you ever play the video game?
Minority Report, the video game?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, it was for the PlayStation 2.
Ah, that sounds right.
It was really fun. It was like a third person, like, you're just kind of fighting all the time, and you can get some of these guns and like you're just blowing shit all around, kind of like when they're blowing the barrels everywhere.
Yeah,
there's
that
like there's stuff like that everywhere, so it's so much fun to use that gun. It's so fucking cool. But yeah, you got the fight with the jetpack cops.
Yeah, and he like
and
he
you
kicks,
would think that maybe some of them shouldn't have jetpacks.
Yeah, someone should just chase them normally.
Or like, you've got a jetpack, go to the top of the building where he's going, and just wait.
Just surround him.
Just wait for him there.
And I don't know, like maybe have like guns that can like put people to sleep or something.
Yeah, you've got the hat that puts them to sleep. Why not have a gun
just
that
like
does it?
some darts or something. Stuff I like
like
though
a stun ray.
is when he like makes one guy's jetpack fly off without him.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he's like, "Got a grip? Do you have a grip?"
Still
he's
a
like,
good dude.
He's still a good guy.
He's still a cop. He's just been framed.
He's the only good cop because the rest of them suck.
I don't know, man. He kind of.
Well, no, I just mean like in terms of effectiveness of catching people.
Oh yeah.
He's the only one that was effective at all.
Yeah. Well, what makes you think he's not good? We'll get to it in a minute. But this is also where didn't Danny show up here? And
it's like after they fly into the house and stuff, and it cooks the burgers.
Yeah, it cooks the burgers.
Guys practicing the saxophone, and then you gotta
the family eating
take
dinner.
a nap, the thing, or give it a rest or whatever to the guy that just like passes out, and it's like, what is that?
He's so tired from flying around in his jetpack.
It's so out of nowhere. Like the whole time, that guy's like, "Get him off me."
I love it when he hits the ceiling and that family's eating dinner. They're like, the giraffes downstairs are at it again.
Once again. Yeah. And then this is where Danny shows up and chases them to the car factory.
Well, he kisses his punchy charm.
Yeah.
And they get and
it's like
then
time to get him.
He gets away. And then they're gay. All their gay thoughts chase them to the car factory.
Yeah.
Where which is like a Hot Wheels car, I guess, in the future.
Pretty cool looking, I thought.
They're pretty cool, but it's
look like sperm.
But the everything with the roads, it just made me think Hot Wheels. Like they all should have had flames going down the side.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super sweet.
And this is where like John accidentally falls into a car and then it starts getting built around him.
Yeah.
So good.
It's wild. Like
so cool. Apparently that was an idea Steven Spielberg always wanted to put in a movie.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, well, you did it and it worked.
You have to be pretty dexterous to dodge all those machines.
All the spikes and everything. Yeah. Yeah, and it reminds me of something from, it's a very Indiana Jones type of like scene, like the fist fights, and then it's like he falls into situations and things are happening all around him. It's even like very Star Warsy.
Yeah, kind of how they kind of accidentally get away, like in a fantastic fashion.
Yeah, and it's great. Danny's all pissed, punches his hand. I'm going to get him. No matter what I do, I'm going to get him, beat him
He's
up.
just constantly punching his hand, waiting for the car to be built.
I hate him.
And then he comes up in his car like, hee, I'm going to get away.
See you later, boys.
You're like, no. He drives off super slowly off the factory floor in a brand new cool car.
How did he get away even though they have ships? I don't know.
Yeah, everybody should have a ship.
It seemed pretty easy to track people, so I don't know.
Like, why don't they all have flying skateboards from Back to the Future?
Exactly, that's all anybody needs.
We have questions.
Yes, and this is where he drives to House in the Woods.
Oh, yeah, driving out through the country.
Miss Heinemann's.
Going to Miss Heinemann's house. Yeah. Door's locked. Screw that. There's a tree. Just break in.
Yeah, and get attacked by
some cool ass fucking plants.
Rogue vines.
What'd she call them? Like doll heads or
future vines? I don't know.
bitey.
In the future,
grass.
Plants have a mind of their own.
Oh man, they're like, and I feel like she has like engineered all of these plants because you don't really see them anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like her little babies. And one of them bites him in the neck, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Come to find out that Dr. Hyman has poisoned him with her guard plants.
It's a great idea though.
Yeah, she's like, you're gonna see like all kinds of blue shit.
It's like walks in. You're a trespasser, by the way. What do you think of her performance? Do you like it or do you think it's weird?
I do like it, but like she is a crazy. She's like a mad scientist.
Yeah, she seems so creepy, and I don't know if it's even like the way she looks is creepy, and I don't know if it's because like the CGI around her makes her seem to stand out. It almost looks like she was like aged, but she's an older lady actress, so like this was the way. I don't know. It's just the whole scene like felt off.
It
Which
just
maybe it's supposed to.
I loved her though. Like I
it's a great
love this
scene.
character and just how quirky and weird and like so just into all these deadly plants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so fucking cool.
And I guess that's how she like protects herself. That's her own like self-defense is all her
I
plants.
want him to learn more about like the other plants that
Yeah,
they had.
I'm like, let's just stay with this lady for a little bit. Let's see what she's got going on.
Yeah, because she's got like a pet shop of horrors back there, like a giant ass like Vietnamese flytrap.
Yeah, exactly.
Feeding it dogs and cats and shit that wander in from the street.
Yeah.
God. But she tells him he's trying to find out about the precogs because she kind of like founded them. She find out that she was helping the children of heroin addicts, and she was saying that a lot of them don't survive, but these three kind of survived on accident, and they learned about them seeing the future. And she's like, it sucked watching because these are kids that are seeing murder all the time.
Yeah, she was trying to give them a life, and essentially she created like a miracle.
She created
terrible
a monster.
Miracle. Yeah, exactly.
And so because Max Van Dal got a hold of it,
Yeah.
or Sydow got a hold of it, and turned it into pre-crime.
Pre-crime.
Which is like, I could feel like maybe this whole situation of losing these kids has made her go crazy.
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more on her, and just like, I guess she's just like, what you gonna do? I guess I'll just live in my little. I'm sure she's like a billionaire at this point.
A huge ass mansion. All these cool things. But yeah, and she mentions that all the precogs do not see the same thing, and sometimes they disagree.
Yeah.
And every time she tries to turn around and do something else, John's like, hey, attention, over here.
I don't know if you know, I'm wanted for murder here.
Yeah. Well, she knows. She seems to know everything.
Yeah, because she immediately knew, like, Chief John.
She's in the loop.
Yeah.
She knows he's a heroin addict.
Yeah.
And fuck, man.
And so this gives them the idea. And this is where we first hear the Minority Report.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
it's the name of the movie.
Bum, bum, bum.
You got to get
credits.
that Minority Report. And it's in Agatha's brain.
Yeah. And then she kind of starts talking shit about Burgess. It's like, you can't trust him. Don't ever trust him. He just wants it all to himself. Classic, like, bad guy plot.
Yeah, he just wants power and fame and money.
Because Burgess knew about the Minority Report, something that he never told John.
But yeah, and they also programmed or made it so that if anybody ever saw these Minority Reports, they were immediately deleted.
Automatically by some technicians. Fun fact, Jim Rash from Community, the dean.
Yeah.
He's a technician in this movie. Don't know where he's at, but he is in the cast. He's in the cast as a technician.
You got billing.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, yeah. One of the writers, I think, was it John Cohen? This is his only ever writing credit.
Yeah, it's his only credit ever. Yeah, it's wild. And this is where we also learn that the original reports still exist. They're in the heads of the precogs.
They're just memories, I guess.
And then she kisses him.
On the mouth, real hard.
For a minute.
Sexy.
Yeah.
God, I was so turned on.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, just, like, why did she kiss him?
Because she's a crazy person.
It just seemed like a weird thing where it's like, what are we doing?
I feel like that's something that insane people do.
Just maybe his last kiss, before he...
Oh, yeah, the kiss of death.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. What if she started getting poisoned? He's like, I'm not going to save you, see ya.
Makes him drink that yucky tea.
Yeah. And then she also kind of is telling him, you have
to get your eyes replaced.
Yeah, because you got to go back in that building. Because he's like, how the hell am I supposed to get it back in there? It's like, you'll find a way. Boom, boom, boom.
Demure. What's that say? I can't remember. Yeah, she's like, you should know this. You're a cop. Like, you know about people getting their eyes replaced.
This is an illegal thing that shouldn't happen.
You know you can do, and you should do it.
Yeah,
and it's fucking cool. So he goes to get his eyes fixed. He goes to the eye doctor.
But first we kind of see Danny, like he's in charge now, back at the lab or the station.
That's when he kind of clunks through the scrubbing.
First, this is kind of like the conversation of him being like, hey, go to the slums or whatever, and let's check there because that's probably where you go. There's no cameras.
Yeah, and did you see, like, when they're going through the footage, they're like, oh, and there's a third party. And is it obvious that it's a billboard?
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious. Like,
at first, I was like, "Oh, I don't remember that guy," and I was like, "Oh, wait, that's right. He's like a billboard or something."
He is a bill, but like I know, but looking back on it, you're like, I kind of knew it was a billboard because I've seen the movie. But when you look at it, you're like, how would you possibly like? No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they're not good cops.
They're supposed to be.
Only John's the good cop.
I guess.
But we also
see
see
stuff.
Danny finds like the little like device you put into the hologram
Oh yeah,
thing,
the little
and it
disc.
says Laura on it. He's like, "Where's she live?" And then this is where it cuts to John getting his eyes removed and stuff.
Yeah, he goes to see the Swedish doctors.
Yeah, he just has
It's super
snot
scary.
exploding out of his nose.
Yeah, but as soon as he walks in, and the dude just like, I guess he knew he was coming there, right? Probably called, made an appointment.
Yeah.
And as soon as he walks in, he's just like, sticks it with a needle.
Yeah, and he's like, "What the hell did you just put me with?" And the guy's just like, "I don't care."
Yeah,
Whatever.
He's like, remember? Yeah. And then he goes into how you put me away back in Boston for doing really horrible things
because
to people.
He didn't really give him anesthesia or anything. He just gave him like laughing gas or like laughing drug or whatever that, like it just puts him in a good mood and smiley. But I'm assuming he's still feeling all the pain from this.
He's getting his eyes ripped out and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm assuming because he's mad that he got him put away. So it's like, here's my repayment for that.
Oh yeah, because I was wondering because I remember him saying that, but I couldn't remember he didn't really do anything bad to him, but maybe that's the thing he did.
Yeah, he had him arrested.
He let him feel all the pain. Oh, no, I mean
yeah.
The surgeon. But when he calls in you see him,
Mole,
he's got
mole.
snot coming out of his face. He's so gross. And he's like, I'm gonna give you so many antibiotics, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then his assistant
comes sexual assault nurse or whatever.
She's like using the bathroom and does not wash her hands, which bothered me a lot.
Not
but
at
I
all.
guess he's
Doesn't
gonna
matter.
be okay.
He has antibiotics. If you get sick, he just stabs himself with some antibiotics.
And I see I could see this being the future of our healthcare system.
Yeah, I can see this.
Just going to some guy.
No matter how futuristic we get, there will always be a place where poor people have to live, and it's always gonna be a little run down.
Get new eyeballs.
Because politicians won't care.
So do you think the drug dealer sold his eyes to get drugs to this guy? The drug dealer that John meets in the beginning.
Oh, I don't know. I guess he just got his eyes ripped out, so he couldn't be read.
I figured he sold them for drugs.
Yeah, he might have. I could see that.
Two birds, one stone.
Let me sell my eyes for some heroin.
So I hate the sound of the heroin because you suck on it and it's like.
Yeah. And when we saw him first use an heroin, I was like, man, who would ever suck in drugs? Take a giant puff of it.
It's heroin, but easier. And less bloody.
Just as addicting.
Yuck. Probably more so because you breathe it in and it hits you faster.
Yeah.
I don't know. What hits you faster? Veins, like intravenous, or
I think it's
it's lung.
Straight to the butt, right?
Maybe. Not sure. We'll have to try it out. So he sets him up, and I was so afraid they were going to do bad eye stuff.
Yeah.
Like how they get the needle right next to the eye.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot. I mean, they got as close as possible to not making it super uncomfortable, but it's still uncomfortable. When they put his eyelids into the little clamps things.
Yeah, what was that movie? The Clockwork Orange thing?
Yeah. It's terrifying.
I guess those are real.
Yep.
And he's got some cool gadgets. Like he seems like he might be able to pull this off.
Got a whole helmet that just stabs your eyes apparently.
Yeah.
Ever how that works?
He might live through this. He's like, don't take off the bandages. And I thought he said for 24 hours.
No, just 12.
He's just 12 hours.
Yeah. Or he'll go blind.
Or you will go blind. He kind of sets them up. They leave. They cash their check and they get the fuck out.
He leaves a delicious sandwich and some delicious milk in the fridge.
Yeah, which they did look pretty good.
And I'm sure there's no other disgusting things in that fridge.
But there's rats all walking around and God.
Yeah.
This is a bad situation.
Not a good place to stay overnight.
But yeah, I love this part. John has a nightmare about his son getting taken away.
Yes.
At the pool. Super sad. And then he wakes up in a tizzy.
And the whole reason they showed it now is because it's talking about holding their breath.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have to hold his breath soon. But
yeah.
There's also a scene just right before he falls asleep where Danny visits Laura and he's trying to find out where John is.
Right.
He starts asking a bunch of questions. Laura doesn't blame John for losing his kid though, and she left John because he reminded him of her boy.
Yeah, I felt like that was a douchey thing for Danny's character to say. Like,
Yeah,
he made it. It was his fault.
it's like we're gonna figure out Danny's not a bad guy, but he is still a dick.
Do you think he says things just kind of like put people off balance?
That's exactly
Maybe
what's
going on.
He's using his old detective skills, trying to get people to crack and break and actually say something. He's using all the tricks in the book they used to have to use.
He's like punching his fist the whole time he's talking to her.
Like, I've got to fight John. Let me get my necklace out to kiss. So this is. And then we cut to him waking up, or the John dream, and then he wakes up and.
He wakes up and he's a little hungry and thirsty, so he goes to the fridge.
This was tough to watch, man.
A yummy sandwich.
Those sandwiches looked rank.
Oh, God.
It's like, as soon as he did it, I was like, no.
But you think you'd be able to smell it immediately, and then you could feel it.
He can't smell. He's got no eyes.
Yeah, I guess.
I smell through my eyes.
But he gets kind of close. Does he touch the good sandwich a little bit?
I think he passes it up and goes straight to the disgusting one.
But he goes to the good milk, and oh, thank goodness!
And he kind of moves the milk out of the way to get the other milk. I'm like, well,
that's what he after he takes the bite of the bad sandwich, and he's like, ew, yucky, and then he fumbles in there and past the good milk, gets the bad milk. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's gross. He immediately throws it up.
God, so gross. And then he drinks water out of the biohazard container.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you're doing everything wrong.
You can't see.
Just don't eat or drink anything for 12 hours. Yeah. Take a rest. Just try to go back to sleep.
Yeah, but I guess he felt like he could totally trust this black market surgeon.
Yeah, I wouldn't. He did not give you anesthesia. He gave you laughing gas, essentially. And then we get like a really dope scene with all the
little spider
when
things.
The pre-cops show up and let off pre-War of the World tiny creatures.
Yeah, these things are so cool.
As soon as I saw them, I was like, is that where you got the
terrifying.
idea for the War of the World?
Jesus, man.
Robots?
I hate this whole idea. Like, they're just going into every little room. It's a
Yeah.
cool little gadget, though.
Yeah, and all the little rooms they go into are
Fun things are happening.
yeah.
Like kids are being terrified.
Like, this is weirdly shot, and like the sex scene, I'm like, of course they're gonna go.
He's
to that
like,
one
he
immediately.
totally got blue balls.
But it is cool when everybody, as soon as everybody sees it, they're like, they stop and open their eyes really wide.
Yeah, they're like, let's just get this over with. And I wonder if there's one of the precogs that sees blue balls when people almost get, almost shoot. They don't.
They only see murders.
They're like, oh no. They're like, oh man, he's at it again.
They constantly see when people masturbate. It's like, all those kids are murdered.
Like
all the semen died.
We solved a lot of murders, but we found out a lot of people are just perverts.
J-O-ing all over the place. Yeah.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
In pre-crime. Pre-ejaculate crime.
Luckily, John knows that these little robots have heat signatures, and that's how they find people.
And they've got some good heat signatures. Yeah, he fills up the bathtub full of ice water.
Yeah.
Jumps in there. Like, first he closes out the bottom of the door to kind of like buy him some time because the little dudes are trying to crawl in. And the little guys are so cute. It's like they're cognizant.
Yeah.
It's
like, hey, this guy blocked the door.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, he blocked the door. And then another one's like, hey guys, over here, whoop whoop.
Yeah.
And then they all follow him down in there, like, oh yay.
Yeah, we got him. I hope it's the right guy so our pre-cops can kill him.
We're such good boys.
Yeah.
They run in there, and they can't find him because he's in the ice bath and he's kind of cold.
And he almost gets away, but he lets out one little bubble.
One little nose bubble.
And then they shock the bathtub.
Yeah,
so cool. And he like
dicks.
wakes up. And I love it because they get on him and it's like he can't.
He's going to go blind in that eye.
And then he like lifts
he's
it
still
and
got
scans
like 6 hours to go.
Yeah. And now he's blind in one eye.
But they don't really go in. They don't really say that happened.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And something I like is throughout the movie, they showed Tom Cruise's eyes a lot. Like his blue eyes.
Oh, now he's got brown eyes.
Yeah, now he's got like super dark brown eyes. And they almost seem like bigger. Like they're dilated almost.
New eyes.
It looks great.
Man, I want new eyes.
But yeah, this caused them the cops not to find him. So now he's like some Asian guy.
Mr. Yakamoto.
Yeah.
So before he's like, I want to keep my eyes. And the doctor's like, it's your money, man.
Yeah.
Because my mom gave them to me.
It's like, because they're my mother's.
So now with his brand new spanking eyes, he goes.
But first we Danny finds out that there's a fourth person in the crime scene because this is where he's doing his lackluster hand movements, and then he's like, "Wait a second, who does that look like?" But we don't figure out it's her yet. But
they don't say Agatha?
Well, they're still trying to figure out who it is, and then we cut to John going to the pre-crime station.
Okay.
And morphs his face.
And why? Yeah. Oh, the little pin?
Yeah, the little pin.
Oh, that's so cool.
The doctor gave him.
He's like, it's going to hurt like hell in 30 minutes.
He's like,
but that was really cool. That kind of made me think of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it was very Mission Impossible.
Their face stuff.
Yeah, it rolled though.
Yeah,
I really
his
liked
face
it.
just melts.
Yeah, it's great.
Why would they still allow him to have access to these areas? These very restricted areas.
So here's how I thought of it. And also, just while we're talking about face stuff, and like in the 2000s, it seemed like Tom Cruise really wanted to change his face and things because in Vanilla Sky, the movie right before this that he was in, he also has like a scarred up face and stuff. Just interesting.
I've seen that. I've barely seen that movie.
It was a movie that I thought I heard it was like really bad, and then I watched it, and it's not great, but weird. It's fun.
Super.
It's a movie about a lucid dream. That's all it is.
Oh, really?
It's kind of crazy.
So they're not all having a big orgy, like an Illuminati orgy.
There's a line in it. I swallowed your cum. That means something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what?
I hear it's good luck.
And then Penelope Cruz has like this weird, like a bunch of dialogue about being a cat or whatever. It's weird.
That's super strange. But I love high strange shit.
Yeah,
like, and there's a lot of it in this movie.
The weirder the better. That's what I always say.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so I think with his eyes, I think for them it's like, yeah, we want him to come back. Come back, please. Because then we'll know where you're at.
I feel like with all their great technology, I mean, obviously we see that they can't send a message from one side of the room to another without that little thing. But then
the technology doesn't exist. Cell phones don't exist.
They're like, oh shit, we forgot to make sure that this guy couldn't get into our secret areas.
Yeah.
But it's so funny when he pulls out his eyes, he can't get him out of the bag.
Yeah.
And he's just like, they roll down the hallway. And he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
But luckily he catches just one perfectly.
By the nerve ending.
It's a great shot too.
Oh, so gross.
It's so good.
I feel like those eyes look pretty wet.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like they would have just went splat.
Well, yeah.
And not rolling around a bunch.
Definitely wouldn't be usable, probably. I mean, because our eyes are so delicate, just rolling around would put so many scratches on them and everything. It'd be terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So he uses his one good eye to get into the temple or the precog area. And he locks the door with he and Wallace and the precogs inside.
Yeah, and Wally was about to pre-sex these precogs.
Yeah, oh god, he's getting nasty.
And then this is where Danny finally realizes that Agatha is at the scene of the crime, and then they're pretty much like,
yeah,
that means he's getting her.
That means he's gonna be downstairs.
Like, wait, should we turn slightly right and see?
Yeah, didn't he have to go through the room that they are currently in?
No, he went the back way. Apparently there's a back way.
There's just always a back door.
Yeah. And then this is where like John downloads all of Agatha's memories and stuff. Yeah,
John grabs Agatha out of the milk, and everyone's like, "Oh no, don't let him leave!" And then he flushes himself down the human-sized hole in the middle.
Fucking
the
rolls.
Milk.
Hell yeah! I've always wanted to be flushed.
Well, like, why make the drain that big?
I know, it's wild.
I don't know. I guess in case you need a quick escape.
Yeah. Yeah, and they escape and buy her clothes, and it's a weird little scene where he's buying clothes and seeing if it fit this one girl and thing. I'm like, what are we doing? This is a scene we didn't need.
We needed the Gap to pay for this scene.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, thank God we still have the Gap in 2054.
God, I would be so angry if I walked into the Gap to begin with. But if you walk in there and they're like, hey, you want some underwear?
Yeah.
Or like, you want some of that weird shit you got last time? I guess it's like that anywhere. You want some extra small condoms, my man? No. It's embarrassing.
It's like walking through the middle of a mall where they have all the vendors and stuff.
Yeah, like everything's yelling at you.
Hey,
God. Yeah. And did you ever see the Black Mirror episode where it was kind of like this?
Yeah, I can't remember it vividly, but I do remember watching it.
You weren't allowed to close your eyes because you had to watch advertisements constantly.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that was a really good one. That was the one with Daniel. Kaluuya.
Yeah.
How you say his name?
Cool.
That was a really good one. It's like season 1. Season 1's the best.
So yeah, he's got his Mr. Yakamoto eyes, and he's like, "What the fuck? I got Japanese eyes."
Like,
You know the look on his face.
Yeah.
Okay,
man, dang, John, I didn't realize you're a racist.
They work pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, you can see. He gets her some really weird clothes, like the striped weird, ugly striped pants.
Yeah,
and
very. You notice weird future clothes, I guess.
But I do like to see this part where they're like the cops are after him,
Mm-hmm.
and Agatha is like she's like, I'm so tired of the future, but then she starts seeing little pieces of the future, and like, because I thought they could only see murder,
Yeah.
but she can see, I guess because she's the best one, she can see little things that are going to happen and like help them escape.
Yeah.
And she's like, grab the umbrella.
Yeah, and but right before that, whenever they first escape, they go to the Rufus's.
Oh yeah, that's right. They go to
a mall, which in this mall has this
like the arcade where you can go and experience
whatever
all the
you
things.
want, anything.
That's kind of a
kill
cool
your
idea.
boss, have
sex. A guy who really wants to kill his boss.
A guy who wants to wants to feel what it's like to be a girl having sex. You can do that. If you're a girl that wants to feel like what it's like to be a guy having sex,
there was the Black Mirror episode about that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, or they're inside the video games.
Yeah. And then so they essentially Rufus, he's like, hey, hook her up and then show me her visions, and it ends up working.
Yeah, I love how Rufus, he does kind of deify this lady, and he went to him because they found out he's the one that kind of put together all the technology at the pre-crime station.
He was the technician that put it all together.
And for some reason, his face isn't on the serial card, like with the serial number on it.
Yeah, it's
like inside of the machine.
It's so wild.
Stupid face is smiling.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's a weird way to find it, but okay. And this is where we end up seeing all the images from his crime, and he's like, no, you're gonna stop it. You're gonna tell me what the Minority Report is, and then like plays the whole thing, and nothing is different. He's like,
yeah,
where's the Minority Report? She's like,
being mean now.
Hey,
Agatha,
I ain't got one, bro. And then she starts having the vision of the girl.
And Lively again.
Yeah, and Lively again. He's like, this is what you want me to see. And he's like, yeah, I told you.
Yeah, everything she says is like, can you see? Get the umbrella. Can you see?
Oh, yeah. And this is when they go to escape. And this is where you got the whole umbrella thing. And it's great scene rolls.
Yeah, she's like, grab that umbrella. It's gonna come into play later, but I'm not gonna tell you about it.
And we got to talk about, I don't know the actress's name. My computer's dying, so I can't look it up. But the girl that plays Agatha is going buck fucking wild during the rest of this movie. I mean, she's going insane. Like, like her breathing, she's falling down nearly on the ground every time.
When your whole life is spent floating in milk.
I feel you're like addicted to whatever sedatives they've been putting you on.
Yeah, she's having withdrawals from all that stuff.
But she is going.
She's having a bad day.
Buck wild. Not as buck wild she's about to go whenever she gets to Leo Crow. But yeah, I do like this scene because, she's like, hey, grab that umbrella. Hey, do you see the balloons? That guy. She tells one girl not to go home. And then they run through a hallway. There's a beggar, and he's like, leave him money. And then it trips the guys.
Yeah, I felt so bad for that guy. Yeah. He just like throws some money on the ground. He's like, you can't even put it in my hand.
Just like, darn.
And then he gets the shit kicked out of him by the cops running through the door.
God, now I need more money for medicine bills. And then like they escape outside, and of course it's raining, and they lose him with the umbrella. It's great.
Yeah. That was cool. This is a cool little scene.
Yeah.
And then they get so from here,
this is where we're at the scene of the crime.
The scene of where they go to find, because they go outside and he sees the big billboard being lifted up with the guy with the sunglasses. And he's like, oh shit, I've seen that before. And he goes into the lobby, and the guy's like, he's like, let me see the register.
Hey, do you want to know something cool? Do you want to know who's behind that counter?
Who is that?
Who it is? That's Tom Cruise's cousin, and he also plays Ethan from Lost. Because everything comes back to Lost.
Wait, Ethan, the guy with the really handsome guy with the facial hair?
In this movie?
In Lost?
Oh, no, he's like, he's one of the others who like kidnaps Claire and the baby.
Okay.
He ends up, I don't want to spoil Lost for anybody. But
it's only been like 30 years.
I mean, he's like in every season, but he's like, he pops up very rarely. He's like one of the guys where they're like, hey, this guy's not on the plane charter. And they're like, oh, he's another. It's great. Love that. Love that episode.
Yeah. John points a gun at him.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah, sure, take whatever you want. Which is what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to defend these people.
I would just be like, well, you're probably not going to kill me because pre-crime.
Yeah, well, this is just a job to me. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Whoever you want to find him.
So he finds the room where Leo Crow is
and
staying.
through all this, Agatha's like, you have a choice. You don't have to do this. All he had to do
was not go in there.
That's it. But whatever happens, happens. Also a law professor.
I mean, you get the sense that he wants to find out if it has anything to do with his kid going missing, because that's kind of like what I feel like all those scenes of how is the kidnapping kind of leading up to. Like he doesn't know anything about it. He has to know.
He's got to know.
But you can still find out 12 minutes later, like if you just wait and don't kill him. And then you can
all you
got
to do is wait for it to click to 0 and wait for the cops to show up. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Let's go find out who this guy is, right? Your crime's over. Yeah. We realize we don't have to kill people.
You're right, yeah.
Because here's the thing. The problem with the movie is it's simple. You find out who the killer is and be like, hey, you're going to kill this person. Don't do it. You're like, and then you send them to therapy. Yeah. You have them talk it out. And then they become a normal person in society.
Or just keep them on lockdown.
Like the guy at the beginning, like,
over.
She's cheating on you. You got to get over it. Look, we know she's cheating on you. We saw it in a thing. So, you'll probably get the kid. So it'll all be good. And you find another girl. Maybe we'll give you a pre-date.
the marriage counselors busting through the ceiling windows.
Everybody get down. We got to have a therapy session now.
How does this make you feel?
I feel like I want to murder. And I can't see because I don't have my glasses.
Get those scissors away from him.
Yeah. But yeah, so we find out who Leo Crow is because he suspiciously has all the kids he's ever murdered and kidnapped on his bed.
So many kids.
And this is where, Agatha's because Leo Crow and John start fighting and Agatha's just going ape shit,
it's kind of one-sided. I feel like Leo Crow he kind of knew what was happening.
Oh, yeah. Well, he knows he's being set up.
But he wasn't really fighting back.
But when there's a fight, you got Agatha, she's on the bed and all fours. It's like, just huffing and puffing like crazy. And it's which I do get it because she's super sensitive to violence and all she sees is death. And now she's at the scene of the crime that she envisioned.
She's about to witness a murder.
And she's going insane. And she's like, just stop. All I see is violence. Please stop.
But I do love it's a very intense scene of John finding out, just connecting the ideas.
Very well done.
This guy took his son. He finds the pictures, and it's gross.
I was gentle.
Oh man,
he had a pretzel. He was happy.
I would have killed him too.
During the whole dialogue, because I forgot the whole Leo Crow plot when I watched this movie, and then whenever he's like, I was gentle. Oh, I brought him a pretzel. He was happy, and I was like,
Jesus,
this guy. There's no way this guy is the right guy. And then it turns out that he wasn't the one that actually kidnapped him and murdered him. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm smart.
yeah. I was rooting for John to kill this guy.
But it's so great when he just starts reading him his rights. Yeah. And it's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he changed his own fate because he knew it was, because that's what Agatha says. She's like, you know what's going to happen. You can change it.
Should have just not went in.
Yeah, but he pulls through. He's starts reading him his Miranda rights.
Except old Leo Crow just what about my family? You're supposed to kill me so they protect my family.
Oh, hey, how about this? You won't be dead, so you could just, hang out with your family some more.
I assume that this is probably he's a homeless guy and his whole family's homeless, and this was probably going to be a situation where Burgess was supposed to take care of his family. Yeah. Which was never going to happen.
Oh, probably
because the one person that knew about this would have been dead. You, Leo Crow, you idiot. Yeah. Ugh, never works. Never works.
So, Leo Crow really wants to die. He grabs John's gun, which, John, you're a cop. Don't let people grab your gun so much.
Put the safety on. As soon as you decide you're not going to kill somebody, put a safety on.
I know. And, you don't have, this guy is obviously not armed.
Hit him in the face.
Put your gun away.
Yeah.
Tie him up.
That's all you had to do.
I don't know. Be a cop.
Have Agatha scream at him or something.
Yeah. But he ends up
blat.
killing himself with John's gun, and it looks exactly the same as the precogs saw. Awesome. But it wasn't murder, I guess.
It was suicide.
Just, assisted suicide by cop, maybe?
Forcing the cop to suicide him, whatever. Yeah. Or unalive him. Whatever YouTube allows us to put up.
Right out the window, and then everyone sees it, and they're like, murder! Yeah. Murder!
And something I love, though, because we immediately cut to the next scene where they're investigating the scene, and has Danny and Neil McDonough, I think is his name. And Danny's like, what is this? This is an orgy of evidence here. Yeah. It's like, why would he just have all these pictures on his bed? And he's realize, there's no, you know how many times so this is where we learn he was a detective before pre-crime. He's like,
Yeah.
you know how many crime scenes I've walked into an orgy of evidence? The guy's like, how many? None. So this is a setup, obviously. It's great.
Yeah, it was
It's
really
like
cool.
he uses actual detective skills because he was talking to Neil McDonough's character, or whatever, how you say his name. And he's like, so you guys have never been a detective? No. So like they have no idea what they're doing. Nobody has any idea what they're doing.
I mean, I guess in the future, there's not as many cops. Maybe there's just not enough cops.
Well, it's the Wall-E situation, right? Where it's like, oh, we all became so reliant on the technology, we forgot how to do anything ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah. Essentially, I think that's all it's telling it.
Yeah, and it's a very redeeming scene for Danny because until now you think that he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And
because he like the next scene he immediately goes and tells Burgess about his idea.
He brings the gun to Lamar. He's like, Lamar's like, I remember giving him this gun back in Boston.
Yeah, and then Danny's like starts bringing up the Anne Lively murder and like shows him the whole thing.
Yeah, cool detective work.
And he tells him, it's like, hey, look, like the water in the visions, there's two different, because he's showing him two different recordings. One's the water's going one way, the next one the water's going the opposite way, because it's being like shown in reverse and stuff.
Well, yeah, the second murder, so the first one was the fake murder where she was saved, and then the second one was where she actually got murdered. But wouldn't the water still be doing different things?
Well, I guess because the wind's blowing a different direction. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I don't know.
It was. Wait, hold on. Yeah, because they're taking it's like the same crime taking it at two different times essentially.
Right, and he uncovers the truth about what happened to Anne Lively.
Yeah, and he thinks someone got away with murder.
Like, someone very high up got away with it, and it's Lamar because he shoots the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and I love it because Lamar, because I wrote down this line. Lamar says, he like shushes Danny. You know what I hear, Danny? Nothing. No footsteps up the stairs. No jet out the window. No clickety click of the little spiders. Do you know why I can't hear those things, Danny? Because right now the precogs can't see a thing. Shoots him right in the chest, and then gets in front of him and shoots him again. It sucks because like no. Danny was actually a good guy.
He was gonna help John.
He was just an asshole.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to talk to people.
He may have been a good detective. I don't know.
Yeah. He was just kind of like the hard-boiled detective of the noir film where he's like
meat and potatoes.
He doesn't take no shit and he gives it right back to him. But yeah, and this is where we see John taking Agatha to Laura's.
Yes. John takes Agatha Christie to Laura's house, and he and Laura and God,
she calls Burgess.
And she
sucks.
Yeah, she kind of gives him away, but then, is it when the Agatha starts talking about what the son his life was gonna be like? What the hell?
Yeah, because at first she's like walking around her son's room.
Yeah,
and then like starts touching stuff. Then John's like telling Laura he's being set up because he found out about Anne Lively, and he's like, Anne Lively, and he goes in to talk to Agatha, and then she's like, this is so many happy memories in the home. And then I guess she's able to see the future,
like different pathways of the future.
Like we learned that like she has like a little more ability than just because she is the strongest precog, so she's seeing.
I know, but this is something
even the future that didn't an alternate reality. Almost.
I know. I felt like God, this is so shitty. Because she's like making John and Laura really, she's giving them an insight into what their boy's life would have been like. And then she's like, but no, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
It's like, dude, Agatha, you could have delivered that a little bit better.
Or yeah, I guess
it's crazy.
She doesn't really know a lot about boundaries. Probably got a lot of,
Yeah. It's a great emotional scene.
I didn't like it.
From the point of view of
the parents.
Yeah. And I was like, because they kind of nailed the whole acting thing. And then it is something where I'm like, why are you doing this? Yeah. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be a scene. Well, so think about it from the perspective of Spielberg, who is a child of divorce. Every movie he makes is about parents struggling, essentially. Like Jurassic Park, you have, like kids who need a father. Jaws, you have like a distant father. Other movies that I can't think about right now off the top of my head. AI, it's a kid without a father.
They're like Pinocchio, though.
And stuff like this. Yeah.
AI, basically Pinocchio.
Yeah, the whole thing is essentially just, they're doing Pinocchio because the blue fairy and everything
Yes.
in it. So I guess from him, this is probably like a really touching moment. It's like two parents together and hearing about the memory of the kid. Only happy memories of a family, which is something I'm sure Spielberg, it's obviously affected him his entire life.
It's something that they missed out on, but
it doesn't work.
Just hearing someone speculate about what might have happened, like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Acting's great. Just it is kind of it seems kind of sleazy. And then
thanks, Agatha.
Agatha, of course, is like, when was the last time I went batshit crazy? Oh yeah. It's like, how about this, Agatha?
It's been like 3 minutes.
It's like, Agatha, say this. Hey, John, the cops are here. It's time to run.
Yeah, time to go away now.
I mean, it's a very tense thing and kind of funny, but
But they catch John.
Yeah. But yeah, so they come in, they catch John, right? They put the halo on him. How about this? Agatha, open your damn mouth and say this. I was at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
John read the rights. I'm sure you can get the memories out of my head. You got so much to text. He did not murder him. The guy forced his hand at killing himself.
Yeah,
he's innocent.
Dropped the ball on that one.
Why couldn't, I mean, I guess that just doesn't work because we have video saying otherwise, but it's like, I was there.
Yeah.
Why would I want to protect him? I'm just some girl in some milk.
Yeah, I'm the milk Jesus, the lady.
You can tell this is where the movie's like, all right, let's wrap up the movie and let's get to the end here, because it's like there's a few little plot holes, and then
they arrest him, and then doesn't Laura go see Lamar?
Yeah, he gets put in. And then Laura visits Burgess.
Well, you also like whenever John gets put into Gideon's.
Yeah, this is where Gideon's like,
you're part of my flock now.
Yeah, your whole life flashes before your eyes. I'm gonna cup your balls once you fall asleep.
How does that make you feel? Well, yeah, Laura goes in there. She's talking to Lamar.
I love that scene though. This scene's fun.
Lamar's like about to go do a big press conference about pre-crime.
Every paragraph she says, he changes the subject. I love it. He's just constantly changing the subject. It's so good.
And then he kind of mentions like, you know what? Whenever I get back, I'm going back to work. I'm gonna figure out who drowned that lady. And she's like, I never told you he drowned or someone drowned, but like he was there when that happened, right? Well, he's the one that murdered her, but he also was part of pre-crime.
Yeah, but he was over it, so he didn't.
He didn't see the video.
He's I
feel like he would have seen it.
He's a classic supervisor, bro.
I feel like
they pretend they know everything that's going on.
I just feel like he would have known about the drowning because it was like the very first thing that they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just they needed it for the plot.
Okay, whatever.
But it is a great scene though.
Yeah, he gives himself away, and
he like stands up, moves the chair out of the way. He's like, "I'm gonna crush your skull, bitch."
Yeah, but first. He's like, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, because he's got a press conference like he has to go to, and it's like, oh, it's so good though. I'll meet you at your cottage tomorrow.
Oh God, he's gonna come kill you.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, so good.
Yeah, then we cut to the press conference where they gave him a golden gun.
Yeah,
with golden bullets, and he gives his little speech about generals and
first
not needing guns.
Laura grabs the gun that was John's gun that was in like the evidence box.
Oh, I thought she just looked at it. Like
no, she grabs it because then we cut to Laura going to Gideon's to make him release John.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she's like, let me talk to my husband.
Yeah, he's like, how did you get in here?
How did she get in there?
Yeah, John's eye.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was all in the little evidence box at Lamar's.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I feel like the eye would have been in worse shape because those are the first things that deteriorate.
Yeah.
When you die.
This is where the plot's just like, we gotta do stuff now.
Okay.
we gotta get to the end of this movie.
Make it make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, this is where he's like accepting his little pre-crime award.
Yeah. He's like, maybe we won't have to have guns anymore because the pre-crime is going to solve everything, all of our problems. And then he gets a call.
Oh, hell yeah.
From John.
Oh, so good.
He's like, you're supposed to be in jail.
Freaking rules.
John's like, I figured it out, man.
Yep.
You're fucked.
Yeah, because we learned that Agatha's Anne Lively's daughter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And apparently she cleaned herself up and stuff and was going to collect her daughter.
And that's when Lamar killed her.
Yeah, because he wanted pre-crime.
He wanted Agatha to himself.
Yep. And so he's like set up a fake murder.
Which that's
pretty cool.
I mean,
pretty cool.
Cool way to try to get away with murder.
Yeah.
I love the whole concept.
Yeah, and the reveal of it's great. Everybody's looking at it. all the extras behind him are just making weird faces as extras do.
Yeah, he's just standing there like he's having a senior moment.
Sign my hat. Please sign these hats. It's like, what? For what? So weird. But yeah, so everybody's like seeing it at the award ceremony. It's great. Now everybody knows.
Oh yeah, they put it on the big screen so everyone can see the murder.
Yeah.
God, what a downer.
Pretty great.
What a buzzkill for a party.
And then like we find out John was at the ceremony the whole time.
In a hoodie, so you couldn't see him.
Because he's bald as hell. Pretty wild seeing him bald, right?
Yeah.
Never seen Tom Cruise bald except in this movie.
They shave him. I guess they shave everybody before jail.
Yeah. Because they got to put the halo and stuff around them.
Yeah. I think it still works on their head, though.
Yeah.
With hair.
Yeah.
I mean, and
you would assume, right?
Does Gideon have to shave everyone's head all the time because the hair grows back?
Oh, bro, I bet they do.
Does he have a little barber's chair?
That's the whole reason. Yeah, his barber chair is his own wheelchair. But I love this because they go out on the balcony and he's like, the whole ending's here. And then John has the line because he's like, are you going to kill me or are you not going to kill me? You have a choice. Then John says, see the dilemma, don't you? If you don't kill me, precogs are wrong and pre-crime is over.
Mm-hmm.
If you do kill me, you go away, but it proves the system works. The precogs are right. So what are you going to do now? What's it worth? Just one more murder? You'll rot in hell with a halo, but people will still believe in pre-crime. All you have to do is kill me like they said you would, except you know your own future, which means you can change it if you want to. You still have a choice, Lamar, like I did. And then he shoots himself right in the chest.
Throws everyone for a loop. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so good though. It's great. And I wondered, like, I guess precogs don't see suicide.
Well, they
right?
couldn't see because Agatha. Oh yeah, Agatha was back.
She's back. Yeah,
she was back.
But I guess they don't see you killing yourself. They only see you killing someone
they
else.
don't see suicide.
I'd assume because they only see murder because of how intense murder is. I guess.
Because when they went into like only murder, they can only see murder because it's like the worst thing you can do to a human. I don't know. I feel like there's some discussion that could be had about that.
Well, I think it's just because of the lasting effect it has on the brain.
Yeah,
is like so intense that's the only thing they can see. Something like that. Yeah, and then Burge is shot. And the cops show up. They just kind of plop down from a ship or whatever.
Yeah, they were waiting and watching the whole time.
It's always goofy when they drop in. I'm like, okay.
I like their ships though. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're kind of like slotted in there and it kind of rotates around and like drops them out one by one.
Yeah.
That was neat.
And pretty much we just got the like last monologue where they say they released all the pre-prisoners.
Yeah. Maybe.
That were arrested for pre-crime.
Yeah, but they kept an eye on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Which is probably
like
smart.
The main bad ones.
The real bad ones.
Yeah. And we see John and Laura back together and the precogs have their life back and they just kind of chill out and read in the really bad CGI house.
Yeah. That was interesting, but like the thing about maybe you don't have to release everybody. Maybe it's not so hot and cold because not all of them had a Minority Report. It was only like there's just like a small percentage of them.
Yeah, the ones that actually did it. But I mean, I guess if you're getting rid of
maybe
pre-crime,
just let
you have
those
to.
guys out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I guess they never create. I mean, I guess if you maybe committed a crime before.
I mean, I guess I can see why they have to let them all out.
I feel like you have to interrogate all of them just to be like, have you done this before?
Like put them in a room by themselves with one of those bopper, like the things that you punch.
Yeah.
And like they fall over.
Yeah.
Like they test with kids to see how violent they are.
Yeah.
To see if they start hitting it. You're like,
just give them a drug that makes them really mad and see if they kill something. Yeah, that's the discussion, bro. You completely crushed it, dude.
Oh,
you did your notes.
I did notes.
You did pretty good.
I'm glad you did notes too. Helped me out a lot.
You crushed it. But now we do our category: the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. This is where we discuss the good of the film, something we liked; the bad, something we didn't; the ugly, something that aged well; the fine, something that did age well. I guess since you're leading, I'll go first this time.
Okay.
So, I mean, the good for me was all the performances and just like a cool sci-fi.
Yeah, I loved all the little gadgets and the new take on the future.
Yeah.
Just the plants, just like how crazy fucking weird it all is.
Yeah, wild future.
I love
cool.
eye strange bullshit. I love it.
I love eye doctors.
The bad was the yucky milk.
Wah wah. Like, why does he do the wah wah noise? Why is he in a Mario game in his head? Just reminded me of like whenever they go through the tunnel. Wah, wah. For the bad, I put the random silly stuff that popped up in the movie, which I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted like some fun in the movie, but it's like the tone of some of the
it definitely
silliness
changed the tone of the movie.
It's like we're supposed to be in like the mind of a guy who lost his kid and is having like the hardest time of his life, and then we're just cooking hamburgers.
Sometimes
with
silly
jetpacks.
things happen.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like terrible or anything, but it's just something. If I had to pick a bad, it's like the one thing that didn't work for me.
Yeah, the cops in jetpacks, they just weren't. They were so clunky and like.
Yeah.
I felt like they just didn't.
They had too much armor on. It made them look. It made them look really clunky, and it looked like. Yeah, no wonder they're bad cops. They can't run.
And they crank their jetpacks like lawnmowers.
Yeah, it's great.
They had a string.
Yeah, and then it's like it has a little control pad. I'm like, okay. It's like, I feel like it'd be better if it's like attached to your hand and not like a little string. Because if it's not attached to your hand, someone like John could just grab it and fly off with it.
Just let it out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for ugly?
Yes, the CGI.
Yeah. That was ugly.
It didn't all age poorly, but like, man, when they really use it, it's like, dang, dude, like chill out on it.
That was interesting.
And then maybe tone down on the milky gray light a little bit in some areas. It makes it feel futuristic, but sometimes there's part where I'm like, dude, it's like washing out the actors' faces and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. It's making me pay attention to the lighting over the acting, which is a problem.
Yeah. I guess that's mine too. It's like the CGI.
Yeah, it's rough.
It is a little rough.
It's rough. And maybe like some of the performances. It's like, what movie we in? It's fun and I enjoy it.
I enjoyed the quirkiness.
It's a laugh, but
for sure.
It's like it takes me out of the movie.
It does. Yeah, sometimes.
And for something that aged well to me is Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah.
This guy, like, because when he started, he wasn't a giant actor here. Right. But like his stuff he was slowly getting bigger and bigger, and Hollywood's forcing him on us, and we get like bad movies like him as in Daredevil, as when he plays Bullseye, and then he's kind of Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt's he's always like a leading man in a lot of his movies, but it's usually not his best performance. But you put him as like a side character and make him be a character actor, crushes.
Oh yeah, like Ocean's 11.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and that's a movie where he's just like, I'm like hot, right? And that's like what I do.
I'm hot and I eat stuff.
But yeah, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Colin Farrell's great, and he's even better now than he's ever been.
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
I mean, we're eventually we'll have to do SWAT soon. Finish up like do The Lobster soon.
The Lobster.
And when we do the Batman, we'll eventually do that too. Whenever I'm prepared to take like 3.5 hour long notes here. What do you got? What aged well for you?
Well, mine was like kind of like Tom Cruise. I think was in his late 30s when he made this movie. He looks so young.
He was 40.
He was 40.
Yeah,
and he looked like
he looks like 30s, he's in his late 20s.
Late 20s.
Yeah, it's wild. Some people just age that way.
Is it just exercise? Is that all it is? You think, or just like having a bunch of money?
I'm sure. I mean, you just get like the best care and great food.
Not a lot of stress.
And some people just age well. I mean,
maybe it's the power of Xenu.
Or like, and he also looked super young whenever he was like in the 80s when he was doing his first movies. You could just see that he looked super young.
Yeah.
He had a baby face, and then he just, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where everybody thinks I'm in my 20s. I'm like, no, I'm in my 30s, dog. Like,
I'm learned.
I'm slowly starting to look like I'm in my 30s.
In my old years.
But yeah, the guy's aged very well. And of course, Steven Spielberg. He's still making bangers.
How old was Max von Sydow in this? He's like 70s?
Bro,
I think 72.
That guy's old as hell.
He's so old.
Did he die? Is he dead? Oh yeah, he died in 2020. He was born in 29. And this movie came out in 2002. So he's like in his 70s.
Jeez.
Or 80.
Was his
70s.
Last movie the Star Wars movie?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And he's looked the same age. He's also in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
He's the priest in The Exorcist. Which they made him look older. But so far, as far as I know,
he's been 70
I've only
for
seen
like
him
20
old
years.
in movies. So I don't know what he looks like. I'm looking at pictures when he's young. He's kind of a hump. Actually, I've seen a lot of his movies. He was in Flash Gordon. Shutter Island,
Hell yeah.
3 Days to Condor, Needful Things, all pretty good movies. So yeah, what's your double feature? What's a movie that you think goes well with this film?
Well, I guess it would be Total Recall after finding out that it was written by the same
Yeah.
guy.
If you want,
I kind of it makes me want to revisit that.
if you want more of the goofiness,
Yeah.
then go to that.
I don't really want to watch it again, but I kind of
I love Total Recall. I actually thought about doing it after this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's so goofy and fun.
Yeah.
Arnold's great in it. Somehow they make him work.
Or
I
maybe
don't.
Judge Dredd, because that's another like feature
Yes,
cop movie.
Judge Dredd's good.
So fucking cool.
Wait, which one? The Carl Urban one or the Sylvester Stallone one?
Carl Urban.
Yeah. I like the old one. I loved it as a kid. It's just I haven't seen it.
It is pretty good.
I haven't seen it since then. Dread, great.
Yeah, maybe that's the one I was thinking of.
The one with the slow-mo
Yeah.
drugs. Oh, bro,
Yeah.
that's so fucking rad.
And they have that cool thing with the cars, like instead of airbags, it just fills the car with foam.
Yeah.
Like, I love that idea.
It's great. That movie rules. We'll have to do that very soon. I know Dakota would want to do that one with us.
Hell
so
yeah, man.
maybe we'll have to plan that soon. I picked mine as Gattaca.
Oh, fuck.
It's like the movie. It's very futuristic. I think it kind of fits well with like the look of the film.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of look similar, and I don't know. It's really good. It's got Jude Law and Hartnett. Who's else is in it?
It's I could have told you. 2 seconds ago.
My laptop's like, please shut me off.
It's
I'm
the guy
about
who
to
was
die.
in like After Sunset, Before Sunrise.
Oh,
and, like, all kinds of shit. He was Hamlet in the a really bad version of Hamlet.
I know who it is. I just can't think. Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Because it also has Uma Thurman in it,
God,
and they married.
I heard something funny about him. He has to have a goatee.
Really?
Like it was in one of his movies where like he wasn't supposed to have a goatee, but he was like, "No, man, I'm the goatee guy."
Makes sense.
That's my face.
Some people are just like, I don't like the bottom half
I've
of my face.
got one look, and this is it.
Hey, some people just look better with
I like
facial
Ethan
hair.
Hawke. He's
I
got.
love Ethan Hawke. He's so good.
Sometimes he's not good. Like in the new movie. What is it? This is not This Is Us, or is it
They them?
the one where like the world is falling apart and he's with like
You
Julia
don't like him in
Roberts?
that?
I didn't like.
I thought he was great.
I thought that they weren't written. I thought they were written poorly.
Man, I really dug that movie. It seems like a lot of people were like kind of iffy on it, but I don't know. I guess it was just. I mean, Julia Roberts outshines,
Yeah.
and Mahershala. They kind of outdo everybody in that movie, so I understand that. Whenever I think about the movie, I do think about those two characters the most. So.
Them together, I thought was a very poor choice because he's real short and Julia Roberts is real tall.
And they like when they have the scene with Julia Roberts and Mahershala, like they have so much chemistry. It's like insane. Like whenever they do like they're drinking and they start dancing, I'm like, oh, he should be with her. Yeah. So yeah, that's our episode on Minority Report.
That's our app. We've done it.
Next week, we're staying in some futuristic tech type stuff because we're doing the Jake Gyllenhaal movie. And I can't remember the lady's name. Source Code. It's so good. It was just kind of one of those random movies that I saw, and I'm a big Jake Gyllenhaal guy. And I was like, I'm just going to buy this Source Code movie. It has decent reviews. And then I watched it and I was like, this is so fucking up my alley with the timey-wimey stuff.
Oh, cool.
It's so good.
What's it on right now?
Disney Plus. Yeah. It's a Fox movie.
Okay.
So, yeah,
all right. Yeah, they bought Fox.
Yeah. So it's on Hulu and Disney Plus if you want to watch it. So make sure you join us. It's such a fun movie. Watch it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
If you haven't seen it and you're listening to this, watch it. It's so good. But yeah, that's our episode. Join us next week for that. Leave us some fan mail. You can click the link at the top of our description, or you can go to We Recommend Mailbag and send us something there. And if you want to follow us on social medias or listen to us on any other service, quickest way to get there is our linktree/We Recommend Podcast. And that's it, except for Joey Prosser made our music. Thank you, Joey Prosser.
Thanks,
you can
Joey.
follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And I believe that's all we got to say. This has been the We Recommend Podcast. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
And in the eye to the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Bye.
Bye.